too long, but I wanted to just say hello. And I flew out from Vancouver and just got in at 2 o'clock. But I know you had a brilliant morning, and I recognized a few of the names and know their areas of expertise. So that was a brilliant introduction. I don't need to go too far into that, but I'm a folk musician, and I've been playing all over BC for the last 4 years, and at many of the shows, especially over the last 2 years, I've been highlighting Site C in almost every community that I've played in. And Ken and I seem to continually find ourselves over and over and over again in the same town. And I just wanted to, really the one thing I want to highlight just in this minute is that from Prince Rupert all the way to the Peace River Valley, all the way to the Kootenays, and then particularly where I live, in the southwest corner of BC, people are talking about this. And Site C has been a particularly strange issue because if you watch the media and you listen to the radio, nobody talks about it. And we have this thing for the people in the circle of Site C that it's like, I had someone tell me right after Morgan Ruby, he went, man, focus your energy somewhere else, this thing's a done deal. And I saw him the other day and I said, Tony, I didn't give up, screw you for saying that, you know? And it's like many things with the media these days, we're being falsely led to believe that something is of greater or lesser significance based on other agendas. And I just wanted to let you know that in my lived experience over the last 2 years, having played like 400 shows in the last 2 years in every town all over BC, that everyone cares about this. And that though the circle appears small, everywhere that I go, from, again, fishermen in Prince Rupert to the residents of the Peace River Valley, of course, and then especially down where I'm from, on Salt Spring Island, Vancouver, Victoria, all up the island. It's a hub, especially out there, and the Peace River Valley for activism around this project. And we had the Site C summit a month and a half ago, 400 people. We spent 2 days meeting in a church, and it was amazingly inspiring, similar to this today. And I guess the two things that I wanted to put out that I kind of gathered from those conversations, I was going to touch upon them anyways, is the first, and I hate to say it because it continually comes back, but it's the world that we live in, is that we have to stand fully behind and beside First Nations communities in their fight to uphold their rights. I just got, you'll get a kick out of this, I hopped on my flight. Who was I sitting beside? The Minister of Children and Families, Katrine, what's her last name? Conroy. And so she couldn't, yeah, I told her about it, and she kind of went, oh, and I said, I knew you got an invite. But what I wanted to highlight from that is, when we talked about this at the summit in Vancouver, I sincerely, now that I've talked to enough of the NDP ministers and MLAs, I sincerely believe that they are nothing worse than ignorant. They actually believe, and I can pick out a liar. I've talked to enough politicians in my life that I can pick out when someone's saying something to me when they actually mean the opposite, and I've talked to enough of the new MLAs to know that they actually believe that they didn't have a choice, that their hands were tied, that somehow the funding was for children and childcare was tied to Site C, which we all know was bogus, but they actually believe that as ministers. And so our fight is not really against lying politicians as much as it has been in the past. It's against ignorance in this case. And so on that note, and what came up in this conversation was that we have to widen this conversation. And someone brought it up in our group and said, we have to find a way to communicate this to everyone and how it's going to impact them. Because at this point, the vast majority of the province doesn't know what the Peace Valley looks like. They don't understand the significance of the farmland. What they do understand is how much their electricity costs, and there's a growing understanding of the rights of Indigenous people. And I think those are our two pivotal points right now. The first being that we have to demand, if our government's saying we will enact UNDRIP into law, which the minister said beside me sitting there on the plane, she said, we're going to enact UNDRIP into our policy, into this party structure. We'll be honoring the rights of Indigenous people. And there's no way that you can build this dam if you are honoring the rights of Indigenous people. That's flat out. And so if they're going to say that, we hold that to them. We hold the feet to their fire on that, and we'll see that this project may crumble on those terms. The second being that we have to find a way to communicate to everyone else in this province how destructive this project will be to their livelihood and their children's success in the future. we're seeing a very realistic bankrupting of BC Hydro with the construction of this project, which means the privatization of our energy system and the privatization of our water. And those are two huge factors that nobody in the province really gets yet because they haven't been communicated through the mainstream media. And so I think it's our job in this hub in the Kootenays and the hub where I live out on the coast to start figuring out easy, simple ways to communicate to people why this project matters to them, because we haven't done that so far effectively. We see the injunction coming in July. I know that was talked about today, and I'm going to be putting a lot of energy behind that and throwing a huge concert in July just before that injunction in Vancouver to try and make sure that everyone's eyes are on that court case. And whichever way it goes, it'll either be another disregard for Indigenous rights, or it will be one of the very few examples where we uphold treaties in this country and we go, wow, this is what we can point to as a turning point on Site C. So, yeah. Do you want to sing a song now? Well, we're going to sing some songs later. Let's wait till then. We'll wait till then. We do. So, I just want to say that though small, I can sense the amazing degree of passion in this room, and I just wanted to let you know that all of your voices are part of very, very many voices across the province. And if that's the message that I can bring to you today, I'm really stoked. Thank you for taking time out of your day to have this conversation.
Thanks, Luke. And don't miss Luke tonight. Tonight, after the dinner break at 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock, we are going to be honoring the Peace River with music. Luke Wallace is going to be playing from 7 till 8, followed by Barbara and Marty from 8 to 8:30, with Val playing from 8:30 to 8:45. So that is happening this evening. Do come back after dinner. To see us in our closing, Eloise Cheray Palace.